This
We
conference will
cannot stay
now
at
be
home.
recorded.
We cannot stay at home and see our businesses dying down. I am told this zone has a large number of uh, entrepreneurs, a large number of businessmen. So can we afford to sit at home and watch our businesses getting wiped out? No, I've not gone to my office for 1 month, one whole month. I've been not been able to go to my office. I have no idea how my office is going to look. But you can't do the same thing with a manufacturing plant. Your industry, your things will get rusted out. You can't do the same thing with your agriculture industry. Things will get wiped out. So what do we do? How do we ensure that we are sitting at home and at the same time we are ensuring that we are going to grow? Now, let me come to one question for you guys. So I just have this question opened up for everybody. I would request you to please use your chat box and tell me what is that one thing that you have learned or done during this lockout. What is that one thing that you have learned or done completely new, which you have never done before? One thing that you have done which is completely new during this lockdown. Okay, somebody is saying, Sharath says cooking, Jagan says stock trading, Funny says work can be done even from home, Ankit says I started reading books and started stock trading. Wow. Anything else? Brijpal says tried playing the guitar. Wonderful. Verma says haircut. Did you get a haircut or did you start giving haircuts? Pending online courses. I started reading books, cooking. Okay. How many of you ever used a Zoom or a GoToMeeting before the lockdown? How many of you used it before a lockdown? We probably used our WhatsApp. We used WhatsApp calls. How many of you ever imagined that we are going to be in a scenario where we are going to sit in our bedroom and watch a training program happening? We are getting eminent personalities like KV Ratnam coming to your bedroom and doing trainings for you. When did you expect that to happen? Never. This is something that has really happened during the lockdown. The way JCI India has started giving online courses, I am seeing chapters, small chapters who are doing phenomenal programs. I'm seeing world leaders. Our world president came down to do some training program. We have EVPs, we have VPs coming and doing training programs. We have trainers from across the world coming and doing training programs. And we have our own great trainers who are, I'm told Yogesh is joining, Ratnam sir is joining for various programs. I've got quite a lot of good friends who are doing these programs. So that's something that we have really um, uh, started doing it. Ratnam sir has put some smileys for me. I hope it is some message for me, sir. I couldn't make out what it is, but still, thank you for responding on the chat box. So this is something that we have all been doing, and this is something that we have been learning, and this learning is what is going to really take us forward in this. Thank you for the messages that are coming and how we can use technology in a better way. Started reading books and introspection. I'm coming to that. That's something that we are really looking at. Introspection. This is a great time. Now let me start by telling you something, my dear friends. This is my personal experience. It has been 24 years or 25 years that I have started working. I don't look that old. I'm actually not that old, but still, I've been working for the last 25 odd years. And I've never had a day where I could take a break. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur, a Saturday doesn't matter, a Sunday doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're celebrating Diwali or Christmas or Easter or any celebration. You're working, your mind is working, your body is working, your phone is working, your laptop is working, your organization is working, your clients are working, your customers are working, your vendors are working. So, how can you stop working? When is the time when you've actually sat down and said, okay, let me introspect? Manmohan sir, thank you so much for putting that word up there. We've been firefighting. We've been firefighting every single day of our life. And Corona has come and it's been a blessing in disguise where we've got an opportunity to actually sit down and take a stock of what we are doing. Now, that's a great opportunity for you. We are no more firefighting. So that is the first and foremost thing I want to put across. We have time in hand. Many people, the whole idea in terms of time management has been put upside. The whole idea, can I
10 numbers
request the host
2
to
plus
kindly
5 plus
help with
3
the
plus
second part,
4.
please? Uh, so, so the whole idea of time management that we have all been training or we have attended trainings. Most of trainers have done a program in time management or this thing. It has been just put upside down. The world is proving to itself, the coronavirus is proving to itself that it was never an issue of time management. You all had the time. What was missing is the discipline. Today, you've got an opportunity to be disciplined. You've got an opportunity to manage the time that you have in hand, and you don't know what to do with the 24 hours. I am getting questions from people on how are you spending this 24 hours? We have nothing more to do. I've exhausted the books in my house. Are you spending your days sitting and watching Netflix or Hotstar or a TV or any of that stuff? My son is extremely happy that Disney took over Hotstar because he's got a new variety of movies and series to start watching. I am seeing friends who have binge watching. You know what is binge watching, right? You continuously watch a series. A series is 10 or 12 episodes of 1 hour each. People are watching it at one stretch, which means that 12, 13 hours in a day, they are watching Netflix. Are you wasting your time that way, or are you actually looking at using it productively? My tips are on how to make it productive, how you can use this time for growing yourself. Are we ready for it? If you're ready for it, I want to see a yes in the chat box. Are we ready for this, friends? Yes, yes. I see a yes with a lot of S's in that. I feel a little more better. So you need to interact with me. The biggest problem with an online training vis-a-vis what I actually do, I do trainings using theater, and I see people, I interact with people, I'm working around with people, I'm in the center, and here I can't see anybody. I can only see myself, and I'm actually doing a training to myself, and that's the biggest challenge a trainer can have. So there is a difference, and that's the only way you can interact with me through the chat box. Thank you, PZP Venugopal sir, all of you for responding there on the chat box. We move on. The first and foremost thing that I want to say is how to ensure growth now. Now being the critical point there, because this is the time everybody is saying nothing will grow. And I am trying to tell you, friends, this is the time things can actually grow. Okay. Now, what is the first and foremost thing that you need to do? The first and foremost thing to me is networking. This is the time for you to network. This is the time for you to reach out to people in your network. Now, can you tell me how many people do you know? Each of us, how many people do you think you know? Now, the question has another part. Now, when I say people whom you know, I mean how many people are there in your network. Now, when I'm saying network, these are people, say, for example, Narayan Swami, you call somebody and they say, okay, this is Narayan Swami. He doesn't ask you back which Narayan Swami. Or I call somebody and says, okay, I'm Manoj here. He doesn't ask me which Manoj. Now, a lot of these names I am seeing here are unique names. But a Manoj is a very common name. I call up somebody, he knows at least 10 Manojes. So when I call him and he says, okay, which Manoj, then I have a problem. That's not my network. The moment I call him, he picks up the phone and say, hey Manoj, how are you doing? He is my network. How many people like that do you know? Can you put it in the chat box on how many people do you think you know? 400 to 500 is an answer I'm getting. Can you put it on the chat box, please? Let the answers come. More answers, please. How many people do you think you know? 400, 1000, 500, 1000, 1200. Okay, now 500, maybe 1500. Okay, we are getting multiple answers at different frameworks. Now, according to a study that was done, an average person, an average entrepreneur, an average businessman, an average professional knows a minimum of 350 people. That's an average, 350 people. Now, can I No, I'm not talking about Srivali. I'm not talking about contacts, but I'm talking only about networking here. I'm only about the network. Okay. And I'll tell you why networking is important here. So 350 is a network that you're holding. Now, this is the time again to introspect that network. Is that network with you? Do you still know that network? Are you still in touch with that network? That's the most important thing here. Networking, my dear friends, is the key for growing. Networking is the key to the future. Now, your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. Now, net worth is something that you're going to carry for your life, right? That's the total value that you're holding. That's your total valuation. And that is equivalent to your net worth. 98% of the businesses which happen in the world, 98% of the new business that is happening across the world happens through referrals. That is 98%. Now this includes your businesses also. Now take for example, you want to buy a mobile phone. You're going to buy a mobile phone. Do you think, what is the first thing that you're going to do? Are you going to walk into the nearest mobile phone outlet and ask him, okay, give me a phone at 15,000 rupees? Is that what you do? Or would you ask your closest friend and ask him, dear friend, which is the phone that you use? And he says, I am using this particular phone and I've been using it for the last 1 year and this is phenomenal. You want to buy a laptop, you have a budget of 50,000 rupees for that. You're going to ask at least 5 of your friends on which laptop to buy, unless you are a laptop expert, unless you are somebody like a funny or who knows the inside out of technology. You are going to ask these people. This is how business happens. Okay. Now, the important thing there is that your first customer satisfaction is the key here. Now, when I'm saying first customer satisfaction, first customer is the important part. I am not saying customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction is something that you've been doing all your life. But your first customer, when somebody refers a customer to you, I recommend my friend to come and buy something from you. Can you give him a world class service? If you can give him a world class service, please believe me, he is going to be your first customer. When you opened your business, when you opened your shop, when you started any kind of business, remember your first customer. We use multiple words for that. Like I've heard a common term here called boni, which they say is a first business, and many of them treat that first business with a lot of sentiments. You remember your first customer. You remember the first guy who bought something from you, and you would have given him a world class service because you wanted that guy to give you more business. Do the same thing to every single referral that you're getting, because that guy is going to be your network. That guy is going to get added to your network. So your network from 350 suddenly has become 351, and that can go up to 3000 if you are able to give him that kind of a service. Now where we fail is that we treat him just like another customer. Now if you are having a referral which is generated from a friend and you are able to give him the first customer feel to that person, he is going to be in your network for all your life. This is the most economical way of doing business. You ask a friend is referring your business. You don't need any kind of marketing. You don't need to put a paper advertisement. You don't need to put a hoarding anywhere in the world. You don't need to put TV. You don't need to use your radio for it. You just need word of mouth. The more people you get, the more people you are servicing, the more business you get. Now today you have got an amazing opportunity to use technology. Zoom or GoToMeeting or any of these things has no restrictions. You can connect to anybody in the world. And that opens up a completely new scenario for you where you can connect with thousands of people across the world. You're trying to reach to people. Please understand, the world is in a lockdown, not just you. All these guys are sitting at home. All of them have the time to connect with you. A normal day, none of them are available. They won't pick your calls, they won't answer your messages, they are not available because they are busy. Today they are available, just like you, they are also available. You have all the time in the world, they have all the time in the world. This is the time to improve that connections. Use global connections. Don't get stuck to where you are. The world is moving global, and it is high time that you also move global. What is the next thing to do? Invest on yourself. Now, one way to invest on yourself is to attend these training programs, right? A lot of programs are coming up, a lot of training programs are happening across the world. You check your WhatsApp message in JCI groups, and you will see at least 10 programs happening every day. You can decide which one to attend. That is a luxury that was never available. I had to wait for years to attend a program by JCKV Ratnam when I went for the national trainer workshop. Today, I can sit in my home at the luxury, wearing a pajama, and attend KV Ratnam sir's class. Did you get that luxury in the past? Never. You can decide which trainer you want to attend, and they are all available in your bedroom. That's the most important thing. This is one thing that you can do. The best and everlasting investment you can make is on yourself. You do stock trading, you do investment on financial instruments, you can do all of that stuff. But unless otherwise you are going to invest on yourself, no investment is going to make any returns for you. Now, why is it so important? If you are not upskilling, if you are not upskilling yourself, you are killing yourself. Upskilling is growing. If you are not upskilling, you're killing. That is death. You want to survive or you want to die is a question that you need to ask. If you're not upskilling, the death is the only thing that is waiting for you. And when I say death, I don't mean the physical death. It could be a death of your finances, it could be the death of your business, it could be the death of you as a person. Now, the only way to invest in that is by upskilling. Please understand, 85% of the jobs which are available today are going to get redundant. Economy is going on its head. I'm not too sure if Rahul is hearing this. If Rahul is hearing this, Rahul, I have a very interesting story because I know you are a chartered accountant. I happened to speak to a CFO of a company the other day. He used to be the CFO of companies like BPL. He worked with Future. He worked with a lot of Madura Garments kind of companies at very, very senior levels. And he told me one shocking statement. He's a chartered accountant with at least around 30, 35 years of experience. I think a gold medal winner and all of that stuff. He says chartered accountancy as a profession will become redundant in the next 5 years. And I was shocked. I said, how? That is the toughest exam to pass. 2% people pass it. How can you say that chartered accountancy is becoming redundant? He said, do you look at the kind of investment that is happening in artificial intelligence? Do you look at what is happening in that front? If you look at that front, you will realize that accountants are no more needed. As long as you have enough systems in place in terms of your IT, have you invested well in your AI, you don't need an accountant to look after your accounts. Now, this could be controversial because this was just his opinion. I have not really gone in depth and studying it, but this is something that we all need to look at. Now, how many of you know about typewriters? All of us know about typewriters, right? Now, one of the booming industries at one point of time in my childhood, I could relate to that. Some of us will definitely be able to relate to that from that generation. Typewriting institutes were the in thing. People were actually spending money learning typewriters. They all spent enough and more money in learning it, and then they went to a Bombay or to a Chennai and became stenographers and typists. What happened to that now? Are they out of their jobs? Anybody who did not upskill from being a typist to a accountant or to a stenographer or to a secretary lost his job. He had to find another job. The same exact thing is happening today. Companies are realizing that they are all top heavy. Industries are realizing that they are all top heavy, and they're getting rid of those top people and trying to get people at junior levels who can do the exact same job. New businesses are emerging every day. Every new day. Zoom had 10 million downloads end of December. End of March, they have 200 million downloads. 200 million downloads from 10. Look at a business which has emerged. I've never heard about go to meeting or a lot of these things which are happening today. All of them are becoming big because there are users. A corona has given an opportunity to so many businesses to improve. Why should you upskill? Is because a constant learning will keep you fresh. You need to be updated on what is happening as of now, not as of yesterday. That is where newspapers are getting redundant, because in newspapers you get to know the news which is happening yesterday. But in real life, people depend on Twitter for news today, because you get to know exactly what happened. You are updated on the minute as you move. So, my dear friends, my question to you is, how much have you invested in yourself? How much have you invested in yourself? If you have not invested in yourself, I'll tell you something. This is the time for you to invest in yourself. If you don't do it today, there is no tomorrow for this. You need to wait for another corona to hit, and let's hope it doesn't happen again, because the kind of time you have got now in your hands, my dear friends, has never happened in your history. It is never going to happen in your future. Today it has given you an opportunity to sit at home and read. Every single learning app is available free. Every single online library is giving you opportunities free. This is something to upskill yourself. People were talking about learning guitar. It's a passion. You're not going to, unless you want to take guitar as a professional career. You're learning cooking. It is something that you want to do as a passion, or to help your wife, or to help your husband, whichever way it is. Or you are learning something to help each other. It's more of a passion that you're following. Have you invested in upskilling your knowledge? Have you invested in upskilling your personality? Have you invested in upskilling your skills? If you have not done that, you are going to be left out. The world is going to move so fast that the world will forget you. That's the risk people are running today. And I can tell you with a guarantee, because I am seeing it happening as I speak. Being in the recruitment fraternity, I can see it as it is. People are getting thrown out of organization. People are losing jobs left, right, and center. People are not getting paid. Now, all these people who are losing their jobs, all these people who are not getting paid, are people who have not upskilled, because organization do not need them for tomorrow. They don't need it for tomorrow. They need it. They don't see any value in it for tomorrow. They needed you today. You've been used. You are the leftover of that sugar cane. So either you be a sugar cane which is being squeezed out and thrown away, or you can upskill yourself and be in demand for tomorrow. And I'm not even saying this from a employment perspective, because I know 85% of you are businessmen. Are you upskilling your business? Are you upskilling your staff in your organization? Are you upskilling your kids? Are you upskilling your families? Kids, as I say, 85% of the jobs are going to be redundant. What are you going to teach them about? What is the job they're talking about? There is something called, interestingly called, yellow collar jobs. We've been speaking about white collar jobs. We have been speaking about blue collar jobs. Now the world is talking about yellow collar jobs. And that's where the world is heading towards. We don't need super specialists anymore. We need people who can be flexible, who can adapt to situations, and who can take up any challenge at any point of time. We don't need speakers who can come and read. We need people who can do extempore speeches. That's where the world is moving. So unless otherwise you're going to invest on yourself, people, you are killing yourself. So that's my message there. Let's move on to the next one. Now this is something which is very, very interesting, and I've been reading a lot about this, and this is really, really unique. Can anybody tell me what is ambidextrous? I know there are certain doctors here who would be able to help me with the word meaning, but can anybody tell me what does the word ambidextrous mean? Can you put it in the chat box, please? Anybody who understands what does the word ambidextrous mean? Thank you, Naresh, my good author mate. Thank you. Yes, doing it with both hands. So when does it typically happen? Are you born ambidextrous? Are you born ambidextrous? Yes or no? No, we are not born ambidextrous. Thank you, Neeraja. Thank you, Sai Sudha. We are not born ambidextrous. We are all born with a skill in one hand. You are either right-handed or you are left-handed. A good lot of my old friends have been forced from a left hand to a right hand. They were all born left-handed, but they were forced to become right-handed. They don't have the skill in their left hand anymore. They've all become right-handed people. Most of them have become ambidextrous because they fell, they broke their hand, and because they had to do something, they started using their left hand, and because of sheer passion and the liking of using that other hand, they have started using both hands. Many of them don't have the same levels of skill with your left and right. Can you have the same level of skill? No. You still will be a left-handed or a right-handed person, but you will still be able to manage both of this. Now I am trying to bring this concept of ambidextrousness towards your leadership style. Now, again, another theory of training, another big concept of training called leadership is being written upside down. Earlier, we spoke about time management going upside down. Now we are talking about leadership going upside down. Why? Because the good old styles of leadership doesn't work anymore. We've been talking about various leadership styles. We've been talking about your authoritarian leader. We've been speaking about your democratic leader, your laissez-faire leader. We even talk about situational leadership of late. Believe me, friends, these theories are going out of the window. They are going to be churned out and thrown out without any uh, historical landmark being left, because the world tomorrow belongs to ambidextrous leaders. Now, what is an ambidextrous leader? Now that we know ambidextrousness is an ability to use both hands, ambidextrous leaders are also very similar. Flexibility and adaptability is the way ahead. So can a person be democratic with one employee and places with another employee and autocratic with the third employee? Can you be following different styles with different groups? Can you follow different styles with the same group of people? That is what the world is looking for. That is where the world is heading. Flexibility and adaptability in style is the key. Ambidextrous leadership is an old concept, but it's coming back again big time, looking at the current situation. One style of leadership is history. The world is moving from an employee to an entrepreneur. What is an entrepreneur? We have heard about entrepreneurs, right? A lot of us are entrepreneurs, whichever what you're doing. What is an entrepreneur? Can anybody tell me what is an entrepreneur? Yes, an entrepreneur is somebody who's an internal part of your organization, but also thinks like an entrepreneur. He's an internal part of your organization. He's probably an employee, but is thinking like an entrepreneur. So today we have all been using employees. It's high time we change these employees into entrepreneurs. Now, when you have entrepreneurs inside your organization, you are no more the single entrepreneur. You are not running a proprietary firm. You're not running a partnership firm. You're running a large partnership firm with every single employee thinking like you. Now, think about this. Every single employee in your organization is thinking about the organization and not about themselves. They are not worried about salary coming on time. They are looking at organization doing well. They are looking at organization growing into 3x, 4x, 5x, 10x, 100x growth. When they think like you, because that is your goal, you want your organization to grow. You are really not worried about the 30th of the month or the 5th of the month. You are really worried about your organization going in a long plan. Are you having employees whose only objective is to get that salary on the 30th of the month or the 1st of the month? If you're working with those kind of an employees, it's high time you change them from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset or an entrepreneur mindset. And you have amazing trainers in your zone who can help you reach there. You can use those trainers to work with your employees to reach there. It is not always about leading from the front. They don't lead from the front. I don't know if there are any ex-military men here. You will relate to it better, because a brigadier is not the one who's on the front facing the enemy bullets. He is in the back ensuring that his people are safe in the front. He is the one who's strategizing. He is the one who is telling what is to be done. He doesn't mind getting in the front. He will get in the front if it is required, but it is not always there. He can be in the back. A leader need not lead from the front anymore. A leader is somebody who can ensure his people are able to get the work done. There is more power. There is more power in the collective. There is more power in the collective, and you need multiple thinking hats. You cannot just work with one thinking hat anymore. Your brain cannot be the only one which is taking decision. Your brain cannot be the only one who's taking the hit. You cannot be the only one who's facing bad times. It has to be a collective action, and that's the way the world is going to do business as we move on. Okay, this is something very, very interesting. The world is moving from competition. You can't compete anymore. You cannot compete anymore, because competition is the toughest thing to do. That takes away a lot of energy. That takes away a lot of your money. The world is moving towards co-creation. The world is talking about how two people doing exact same business can work together. Is there a way to do it? It looks very difficult, because I've been competing with that textile shop right next to my office, my shop. He's been outside my shop for the last 20 years. I've been competing with him on every day. My It's not like a Coca-Cola, and I'm like a Coca-Cola and a Pepsi. I'm spending more money to defeat Pepsi. Coca-Cola spends more money to defeat Pepsi than to create Coca-Cola. Are you doing the same thing, or are you trying to see if there is a collaborative effort that you can work? Are there examples of that? Are there examples of competition working together? Yes. See your telecom towers. See your telecom towers. There are multiple towers in your town, in your city, wherein every single guy is sitting on that. Be it be your Airtel, your Jio, your Idea, or a Vodafone, or anybody. Everybody is there. I worked in telecom industry in the initial days, when it was fierce competition. And when they announced that we are going to share towers, we literally had a fight inside the office. We could not accept the fact that my competition is going to occupy the same tower. I spent time and energy in identifying the tower location. How can I give it to others? Of late, I've realized that that was the best decision telecom companies took. Why is the price of mobile telephony in India the lowest in the world? One of the reasons was that the infrastructure cost was brought down so much. No company had to create 80 meters towers in each location. There was one single 80-meter tower and everybody was sitting on it. You can look at car manufacturers. If you've been to Chennai, you can see enough and more car manufacturers who manufacture their engine in the same factory. They manufacture the whole car inside their same factory. When it comes out, it is two different brands. The first 10 cars belong to this guy, the second 10 cars belong to the second guy, but they are using the same set of employees, they are using the same set of equipment, they are using the same roof and brick inside. How many of you have heard about white ATMs? White ATMs is a big concept coming up now. White ATMs is where every single bank can use one single ATM and work. Look at the infrastructure saving it will have. Wait and watch. That is what it is going to happen. You do not need 10 ATMs in a city block. In 10 different buildings, there are 10 ATMs sitting. Why can't it be one single building and 10 ATMs sitting inside there? Why can't a single company run the entire ATM? That's going to be a big business to watch out for. You can use any ATM that you want. You probably pay 20 rupees for a transaction. People wouldn't mind paying it, because there'll be more ATMs across the city. You don't have to actually start looking for an HDFC or an Axis or an ICICI Bank ATM and spend your fuel to find one out. There is no more survival of the fittest. We have moved out of that era. It is no more survival of the fittest. Believe me, friends, Even the lions hunt in packs. They don't hunt alone, they hunt in packs. The king of the jungle is hunting in a pack. Why can't we do that? Can't we do it together? Can't we not address our problems together? It is not what you control, it is what you have access to. Be it be technology. I found a great technology to improve my business. What I'm trying to do today is to keep it to myself. I am not giving it to others because I won't want my competition to know about it. The moment you start exposing it to others, wherein all of you are sharing the similar kind of an information, as an industry you will grow, as a community you will grow. Now this is something that I always love when I hear Santosh Kumar, or past national president Santosh Kumar, talk about his T-back leadership concept. He talks about a relay race. Now you know what is a relay race, right? You know what is a relay race. You know different types of races which happens in the Olympics also. There is something called as a 400-meter race, right? Now 400-meter race is one full lap of that stadium, and that is 400 meters. Now, do you know what is a record, world record time for this 400 meters being run by a single person? Now I'm not coming there because I think we might run out of time. So the answer to that is roughly around 43 seconds. The South African who ran that 400 meters relay, 400 meters race, finished it in around 43 seconds. But can you tell me what is the 4 by 100? It is also 400 meters, but 100 meters each. Four different people running with a baton, passing that baton, and finishing that race. Again 400 meters. How much is the record for that? 38 seconds. It's somewhere in the range of 36 or 38 seconds. Exact time I am not too sure, but it is definitely less than 43 seconds. So when you're doing it alone and it is taking 43 seconds, when you're running with your competition, now the next day all of them are going to run 100 meters separately. When you're running with your competition, you're working with the best people in the world. Your textile guy who's opposite to your shop for the last 20 years, and you are the best textile guys in that town. The moment you start working together, what was 43 seconds suddenly becomes 38 seconds or 36 seconds. Now that's what collaboration can do. Competition can make you faster. Competition can make you faster, but collaboration can take you farther. Now, I want to quickly move on to some of the tips so that we have some time in terms of some interaction in terms of the questions. Also, if we get time here, first and foremost tip from my side. Being a GoToMeeting, I'm not able to see a lot of people on the videos. Most of them are not available on videos. But on a lot of Zoom meetings, I have seen people who have attended training programs wearing a banyan. Please understand, we are working from home. You are not on a holiday. You are not sitting at home and enjoying. You are working. Will you go to your office in a banyan and a dhoti, or a lungi as we call it in our parlors, the colored dhoti? I don't know what is it called in your parlors there. Will you go wearing that? Will you go to your office wearing a Bermuda shorts and a banyan? No, you will not. So how can you do that when you're sitting at home and attending a call, attending a Zoom meeting, or attending a customer meeting? The important thing of working from home is to be in your office wear. The moment you realize you're not on a holiday and you're working from home, and if you want to grow, you need to start working from home. So please change the habit of thinking that you are in a holiday. You are not in a damn holiday. You are working from home. And when you're working from home, you need to do exactly the same things as you will do from office. You get that extra hour, 50 minutes, 20 minutes, which you would have taken to drive. Use that also. So if you were, I drive at 8 o'clock to my office, I reach there at 9 o'clock. My office in my home also should start at 8 o'clock. Not in my banyan and my Bermudas, but in my official clothes that I would wear. If you don't want to wear shoes in your home, fine, but can you wear your office clothes? Because that gives you the seriousness. Now, Dr. Alex is here. Dr. Alex is one of the best homeo doctors in my hometown, the best um, JC, the world's best JC award winner, the only one who has ever won that award. If I am going to Dr. Alex, I consult him and his wife is a dentist. If I am going to consult him, now please remember these doctors are all working from home, right? Most of these doctors are working from home. If I go to that doctor and I see him in a banyan and a Bermuda, am I going to go to him again? Will I go to that doctor again, or will you go to that doctor again? Doesn't matter where he's sitting in his home. He wears his official clothes, he wears that coat and then come out and then only meets you. Why is he wearing that pants? He is at home, he can wear a Bermuda, or he can wear a pajama, or whatever you are comfortable in. Why is he wearing a pant? Why is he wearing a shoe in his consulting clinic? That's because he takes his job seriously. We've never done that in the past. Whenever we have been at home, we have been in our casual clothes, we have been in our Bermuda. So please, my dear friends, don't get up from your bed and start working. Don't sit in your bed and work. Please don't lie down and hear training programs. Please don't be in your comfort clothes and attend a training program. Give it all the seriousness that it will give. You will not attend a training program of JC wearing a Bermuda and a t-shirt. You will attend a program of a JC wearing your best clothes. Continue doing that. Second, buy within the group. Now, I don't know how many people are there in Rajamundri Sri Medha. How many are there, Swami? How many members do you have? Any of you can either unmute and say or can put it in the chat box. What is the number of members you have in your chapter? 34 members in this chapter. Now, I come from a loam which has got 100 members. Okay. Now I know chapters in Bangalore which has got 240 members. Incidentally, I live in Bangalore, but I'm part of a chapter called JCI Palghad in Kerala. I've been a JC from 1992. As a junior JC, I joined this organization and I'm indebted to this organization. So every chance I get to be part of anything that JCI is doing, I take that and jump in. So thank you, Rahul, for bringing me in, because I know Rahul pretty well and I know how great a trainer he is, how great JC he is. So can these 34 people in your chapter, Swami, ensure and take a pledge that you will buy within yourself? You will probably have a cement manufacturer, you will a cement dealer, you might have a white goods dealer. I don't know what kind of a businesses you do. I know Amulya is a company secretary, if I am right. Can every single member in your chapter take a pledge that if I need a company secretary, or if I know anybody who needs a company secretary, I am going to Amulya? You don't need to market yourself after that. This 34 people, please believe me, knows 350 people each. So how many members, what is the network that we are talking about now? 30 into at least 300. That's a kind of network that we are talking about now. 9,000 people can buy from each other. That's a difference that you can make. So please take a pledge today. Even if you don't have a business community inside, it's perfectly fine. There is somebody who's giving you loans, there is somebody working in a bank, there is somebody who's an insurance advisor. Please take a pledge that you all are going to use that guy's services. We can take that pledge as a zone. Can zone 4 take that initiative, Rajida ma'am? Can you take an initiative inside your zone that we will ensure that we buy inside, and then see how you grow? You will not even need to go to an office after Corona, because your business is going to come to you, because your network is going to come to you. Take this opportunity to go back to customers. You've traveled a long journey over this last so many years. You've traveled a long journey, and a lot of customers have come and gone. The number of customers who have gone are more than the customers you have today. And if you take back your bills, I'll tell you how to do that. Go back to your bills for the last 10 years, or 5 years, or 1 year, or 2 years, how many ever number of it. See those customer names and you will know how many of them are coming back to you to purchase from you or use your services. If he is not using your services, please go back to him and just say, sir, I hope you are safe and staying at home. We wish you all the best. Don't ask for business, nothing. Just send a hi message to that person, and believe me, he is going to say thank you so much. That starts a discussion, and then you can say, how are you doing, what are you doing? I am still doing this business. Once it is all up, can I come and meet you? So go back to your customers. This is a great time to do it, because again, I'm saying we are not firefighting. We have enough and more time in our hands. Strategize and empathize with your internal and external stakeholders. I mean your vendors. I mean your employees. I mean the guy who's supplying chai to your office. Please understand, if your shop is shut, his shop is also shut. You need to empathize with him today, because if your shop is shut, he doesn't have an income. He is dependent on you as much as you are dependent on him. Your vendor is dependent on you. Can you go back to him and strategize with him? Can you work together and say, okay, once it is over, how are we going to come back? This is a great time to do that. Please develop your digital strategy. I believe Dilip is coming here, so he might put more light into that. But this is a time to develop your digital strategy. It doesn't matter what business you are running. Many people have this common notion that I run a school, I don't need a digital platform. Or I run a life insurance business, I don't need a digital platform. Wrong. Every single guy who's got anything to do with business, anything to do with entrepreneurship, needs a digital presence. It can vary from having a amazing digital marketing team or an agency, just to have a basic Facebook account and a Facebook page to depend on that. But please formulate your digital strategy. This is a wrong time to take emotional decisions. This is like you fell down from your cycle the first time and you say, okay, I am not going to cycle anymore. Or you got into the swimming pool, you drank a little bit of water and say, okay, I am not going to swim anymore. Don't take such decisions. This is a time to actually evaluate a long-term plan and take your decision. This is a great time to talk to your mentors. I can see tons of mentors in this group. Please go back to those mentors and talk to them. And last but not the least, take help from people like Rahul and review your P&L, your profit and loss account for last how many ever years. Make out, I will tell you, if you actually go through that yourself, you will see those glaring mistakes that you have been doing over the last so many years, and this is the right time to correct it. And when you buy within the group, you have chartered accountants within the group who can help you, and that way you will be able to stabilize your business a little more better. My name is Manoj Telakkat. Thank you so much for having me here, JCI Rajmundri Sri Medha. I thank the President Narayan Swami, the Zone President Rajita ma'am. I thank Amulya, Funny, all of them who have helped me a lot in kind of setting this up, running this smoothly without any issues. I've stuck to the time I've committed. We have some more time in terms of any questions that you have. Thank you so much for having me here. Thanks a ton. Thank you, leaders, my dearest mentor, KV Ratnam sir, for being here, and all of you. Thank you so much. Over to you, President. Thank you so much. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Dear participants, please mute the mic.
Thank you, Charan, PZB Venu sir, Sharath, Nagendra, for all the good views. I can see a lot of chartered accountants in this chapter. Great to see that. If there are any questions, you can put it on the chat box, or if the host is okay, you can unmute and ask the questions also. My contact numbers are there. I'm available on WhatsApp. Any point of time you want to reach out to me, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. That's my WhatsApp number. You can always send a message on WhatsApp, and then we can connect there.
Yeah, dear participants, any questions to ask, you can type it in the chat box, or the project chairperson will take it for the valedictory.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Manoj, sir.
Yes.
Shall I ask one question?
Please, please.
Shall I ask one question? Sir, I am Hari
Yeah,
Kumar, zone coordinator. What is the
sure.
difference between the entrepreneur and the entrepreneur, sir? Can you explain once again?
See, entrepreneur is somebody who has invested money and started a business. Any businessman.
Yes, sir.
And an entrepreneur is a person working under an entrepreneur. He's an employee, but has got
Okay.
an entrepreneurial mindset. He thinks like an entrepreneur.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, got
So
it, sir.
he's an
Got it. Thank you.
employee
Thank
of
you
yours.
very
You
much.
will all have those kind of employees, right? Who is thinking like you. He wants the organization to grow. He wants all those big things to happen in that organization. He is not looking like an employee. He's not thinking like an employee.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Dear participants, any more questions to be addressed?
Right, carry on, Amulya garu.
So the session was very intense and gives us the determination to bounce back in our own respective fields with a very high energy. And the topics that you have shared with us, mainly the difference between the collaboration and the competition. It's the spirit of our JCs too, that with the collaboration of our members, we are able to take out the session in a very great manner, which would be helpful to all the people at large.
Thank you. I have one question that has come from Naresh, a good friend. Software and AI is not my domain. I may not know it, but books at this point of time, I believe anything that you can get your hand on, please read them. It doesn't matter if it is from Jack Welch or it doesn't matter whose book it is. You please you go ahead and read anything that you can get your hands on. This is the right time to read. As I said, we have time. There's no dearth of time at this point of time. So you can read any book. I was actually reading a book which my son was reading, which is called The 1,000 Fantastic Facts. We're just passing time and reading it. And I realized this is a kid's book. Okay, my son is 11 years old, and he reads a lot. So I was reading this book by him, which is called 1,000 Fantastic Facts. It's right there. And some of the facts were so amazing. I was surprised that I did not know so much of it. So anything that you can get your hands on, please read it. And anything specific you want to know in terms of any of the genre that you're talking about, management or any of that stuff, we can always have a one-to-one, and then I can tell you what I am reading or what I feel is a great book. One book as an entrepreneur, which I will always recommend to everybody. Okay, I will type it down here. It's The Maverick. It's a book by the name Maverick. It's a Brazilian. It's a book by a Brazilian entrepreneur where he talks about how he made his factory into a place where nobody wanted to work in, to a place where people were waiting in waiting list for 5 years to get a job there. So it's an amazing book. Put your hands onto that book. It's called The Maverick. The name is just skipping my mind. I love that guy. He's an entrepreneur, and he says his new factories are not scouted by him. His employees take a bus, go identify new factories, and take it. So I've implemented a lot of that learning into my organization. So my cabin is not my cabin. Anybody who wants to come and sit in that cabin and work can work. I have to find another place to sit for myself. So that's how we work in our office. So that's a great book to read. Yeah, ma'am.
I request our zone Bhishma Pitamaha Manohar sir to have a few words regarding the session. Sir, please unmute yourself. I request our past Executive Vice President, the zone mentor, JC Murli sir to have a few words.
Manohar sir and Murli sir, please unmute yourself and talk.
Hello, am I audible?
Sir, you are audible, sir. Carry on.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, Manoj, that is a wonderful session. And one
Sir,
point I think,
please switch on your video also.
okay. Hello, Manoj. Hello, participants. Good evening. First of all, Manoj, that is a wonderful session. The way you have conveyed the message of thinking outside the box and coming out of the old school of thoughts is really excellent. I'm sure that most of the people are going to incorporate these ideas and they are going to be a better entrepreneur in the coming years. And this entrepreneur concept, this is relatively new for most of the people, but I'm sure they will always inculcate new things, and this is the ideal time. Thank you very much for coming down to Zone 4 and giving a wonderful session on this. And let me tell you, you are the opening batsman of this series, The Business Guru, hosted by our chapter JCI Rajmundry Srimeda under the guidance of Rahul and LOM President Narayan Swami. What a wonderful opening session, Manoj. Superb. I really appreciate you for this. And Narayan Swami and the rest of the team, you've done a great job. Let's make sure that the rest of the batsmen also will perform in the same manner. And we'll see some good entrepreneurs in the chapter in the city of Rajahmundry. And I'm sure that credit would be deposited into your account as a president and as a guide for this particular training program. Rahul, congratulations. Congratulations, Narayan Swami. Thank you very much.
Sir, we will surely go with your words regarding the session. Now, I request our ZP madam to address the session, address regarding this session. We had a huge feedback from our participants, and it's noteworthy to mention that we have 170 member participants that joined the session. Sir, it's all because of you.
Thank you.
Sir, now I request our today's trainer, JC Manoj sir, to release tomorrow's session flyer.
How do I do it? Do I show it somewhere, or how do you want me to do that?
So please share it on your screen.
Okay, I don't have WhatsApp here. So can I do this and share it?
Yes, sir.
Can you see that? So it's a privilege to do this. Thank you, and great to see Apaji sir doing a session tomorrow. My privilege that he was there in today's session also. Past GLC of India. Thank you, sir. It's a great. Okay, it's up there. Agreements and disagreement. Wonderful session. My privilege to release the poster for tomorrow's session, and all the best team Rajmundry Srimeda for tomorrow's session, and to Apaji sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Manoj sir, for this wonderful session. In fact, accepting the invitation itself is a pleasure to all of us. It was very nice of you that you addressed our members and shared all your experiences, thought process, and knowledge. Thank you so very much on behalf of the entire team.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. So thank you, Rahul.
Friends.
Thank you, all of you, because I think you took a big risk in inviting me, because I am definitely not known in the zone. and Rahul definitely took a big risk because if the opening batsman fails, then I think there is a big responsibility which comes to the rest of them. So I think courageous of you to have taken that risk, and I hope I was able to live up to your expectations at this point of time.
Dear friends, tomorrow the session is all about the legal implications involved in the business agreements taken up by JCGLNE Apaji Garu, the past GLC JCI India. And please note that the access code for joining the GoToMeeting ID is same for all the 7-day session. Privilege to JC Bridgepal.
I thank trainer JC Manoj sir for such a vibrant and knowledgeable session in today's evening. I thank Zone President JC Rajita Pusarla. I thank National Director JC Rajesh Kumar Saraf. I thank Zone Director JC Ranjit Shah and his business team. I thank Administrative Committee member JC Manohar sir. I thank past National President JC KV Ratnam sir. I thank past Executive Vice President and Zone Mentor JC Dr. Murli sir. I thank past Executive Vice President JC NL Bhagwan sir. I thank past Zone President JC Anjaneyulu sir. I thank past Zone President JC Venugopal sir. I thank Zone Vice President JC Chandramurli sir. I thank JC Verma. I thank all present and past zone officers, all the LOM presidents, and all the people and entrepreneurs, coming entrepreneurs. I also thank past, present, and future leaders. I thank the entire technical host of COVER. Thank you.
I take the privilege in thanking PD Bridgepal, JC Krishna Bhaskar, JC Sai Sudha, JC Funny, JC Sharif for the technical assistance and the guidance that they have extended to us.
Swami, please adjourn the meeting. Unmute yourself. Amulya madam, please adjourn the meeting. Unmute yourself and adjourn the meeting. Amulya madam.
The meeting is adjourned.
So dear friends, stay tuned for tomorrow training. Thank you very much. Thank you, dear Manoj sir. It was a wonderful session from you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you all. I'll take leave. Thank you. I'll
Yeah.
connect back
Bye bye,
with you.
Manoj. Now the host
Pleasure.
can close the meeting, please.
Thank you.